Luang Prabang, Laos. It's been 10 years. First time around, it was love at first sight. Some of the best days of my life were spent in this place. Met so many great people and good memories. I didn't know it then, but it would change the course of my life 10 years later. For this time around, I'm retaking the same steps I did 10 years ago. I took a bus to a border town in Thailand, then crossed over into Laos, into a town called Wat Sai. From then, I took a 2-day boat trip down the Mekong River. I love the slow travel. There's nothing like rolling down the river, and all you see is just water and beautiful landscape. People say physically I haven't changed too much in 10 years. The same goes for Luang Prabang. It still has the colonial architecture, the wide tree-lined boulevards, the cafe culture. Luang Prabang is timeless. The best place to see the town is on top of a temple. It's hard to get to, but it's worth it. It's a great view of the city. It's also a great place to watch the sunset. And if you're lucky, you might see some lightning too. Food is a big part of life in Southeast Asia. Although there's a lot of disparity between the rich and the poor, my personal opinion is the poor could eat just as well as the rich. You can find good food everywhere. From morning markets, where locals go to get food for the day, and night markets, where locals and tourists come to enjoy the night and get some prepared food. From fresh fruits, smoothies, to fried innards, to everything in between. There's everything you need at the night market. And a lot of times, food just comes to you when you're sitting at a cafe. Perhaps the most iconic images from Luang Prabang is the sight of young monks going from town to town, from house to house, to collect food for the day. Some say it's become too touristy, but I still enjoy it. But sometimes there's this guy in the blue who has no respect for the tradition or the ritual. Scenes like this happen at sunrise in every corner of Luang Prabang. Young monks like this one are usually orphans, or they were given up by their parents and given to the temple because they couldn't afford to feed them. At the temple, they have a place to sleep, place to eat, and hopefully learn something. At 18, they can have a choice, either stay in a monkhood or they could leave. 10 years ago, I met a young man who works at my hotel. He told me his story. He was once an orphan who went into the temple. He learned English from an American who volunteered at the temple. It was that story I heard 10 years ago that inspired me to retire early at 50 and come to Asia to teach English. I wanted to be like that American. I'm going to teach English next year and the year after that. I'm not sure when I'll come back to Luang Prabang. It could be next year or the year after, but I'm going to return soon.